For this question, you have to recall what a dot and cross diagram is. It's a diagram containing rings representing the orbitals containing the electrons, and a series of dots and crosses which represent the electrons themselves. So for nitrogen and oxygen, let's draw two rings which represent the orbitals containing the outer electrons. Between the nitrogen and oxygen, there is a double bond. So essentially, two covalent bonds being shared between the nitrogen and the oxygen, meaning in total there will be 4 electrons. And 2 of the electrons are from the oxygen. Oxygen is in group 6 of the periodic table. This means that it's got 6 electrons in its outer shell. And as 2 of these electrons are used in the double bond between nitrogen, there are 4 additional electrons in the outer shell. Within the double bond, 2 of the electrons are coming from the nitrogen. And as nitrogen is in group 5 of the periodic table, it will have an additional 3 electrons in its outer shell. So this is the dot and cross diagram of nitrogen monoxide, and this would give you half a mark. The second part of the question is to explain why it's called a radical. For this, you have to recall what actually makes something a radical. And as you should know, a radical is a reactive species with an unpaired electron. So, for this dot and cross diagram to be called a radical, it has to have an unpaired electron. And by looking at the diagram, you can see that there is an unpaired electron. By explaining this fact and pointing to the unpaired electron, this will give you an extra half a mark.